So I ended up getting a trade in here. It is an older Rally with the 4 horsepower Quantum Briggs engine on it. Overall is in decent shape. It is missing the back wheels. The guy's going to use the wheels for something, but the deck is good. I've got some wheels that'll probably be able to fit on it. I'm not really too worried about that. Probably some of the bicycle Murray wheels I have will fit perfectly on it. Hopefully I've got all the hardware for it. The guy said that he's been using it for about 10 years and finally it just quit running, and he decided not to worry about fixing it. Wow, the dip's I had to get a dipstick for it because it looks like, or just put that back on, one of the two. It does have oil in it, is what it looks like. It doesn't. It's got enough to get started, but I don't really want to run it too long on that amount of oil. So let me actually put this down for a second. So let me look at the air filter. I suspect that it might be an air filter problem. It is missing the safety cable, and it is also missing, what else is it missing? It's missing the throttle. Throttle cable's broken on it too. So air filter actually isn't too bad. Carburetor looks extremely clean on it. Look inside the air filter. Yeah, the air filter is actually in good shape. Just a little dirty, but not terrible by any means. Guy said that he just couldn't get it started again, but it's getting gas. It's got the original spark plug to it. So it might just be a gummed up spark plug. You never know. We're gonna try and get this thing running right here, though. At least going to get some pulls. See if I can get it going. Man, the bugs are terrible out here today. I don't think I've ever had one of these old ones. Gas tank leaves a little to be desired on it. One of the mounting bolts is broken under here, but I don't think it's mounted by anything else. So I'll have to investigate, see if I can get a gas tank for it. But so I'm guessing that throttle down is that way, throttle up is that way, and then choke is like that. So we're going to try and crank this. And what I did is I pulled this out too, because it was pulled in. I don't know if it's going to make any difference, but it's already pulled all the way back, so it's ready to roll if it does crank up. I'll take the choke off, see what happens. I don't know if it's got bad gas or whatnot. I'll try this one more time, and then I'll get some starter fluid. Well, looks like I got gas coming out from somewhere, so I know it's getting gas. Gas is coming out somewhere. I don't know where though. I don't know if this tank's busted or. Fuel shutoff is on. or the fuel is on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some starter fluid, see if we can get it to crank over. So I sprayed some starter fluid in it. Let me see if it'll crank up now. Alright, so it will crank up on starter fluid, which is good to know. Might just need a simple carb clean, might just need a carb reset. It's pretty simple, so let me try it a couple more times real quick, but then I'll attempt to get this one back running again, and I'll find some back wheels for it. I should have some that'll fit. So that'll be next.
Well, so we got a starting point. I'm not going to let it run very long like this because I've got some more gas tank there running. Let me show you. I just wanted to show you all that it runs.
So it does run. Man, I gotta either find a gas tank for it or repair that gas tank, because it's leaking somewhere on it. I just gotta find where it's leaking at. I've got JB Weld. I can throw some JB Weld on it. It'll probably be okay. But like I said, I'm not 100% sure, so I'll have to give it a look. But hey, it does run. That's a start, and I'll keep working on it to see. Probably take the gas tank off to see what I got here. So as you can see, the engine is off the deck. Looked at the gas tank. I saw it was leaking a little bit, and it split right there. So with this tank being so old, I'm not really in the market for messing with it or looking for a new tank, and unfortunately since this engine's old, I don't have a tank for it. So what I'm gonna do, and I bought the mower for the deck anyways, so I'm not really losing out on this or anything like that, but I'm gonna put I've got a 6 horsepower engine under the house that has the short shaft on it that I am going to put onto this deck. So that's what I'm going to do next. Hopefully we'll have a decent mower here before long. I'm going to find some wheels to put on it too. So that'll be next. So I've got this Troy built chipper vac here that I got in a lot of stuff a while back, that about the only thing good on it is the engine. As you can see, it's all plastic, and some of the plastic is starting to crack and stuff. So this thing is about 22 or 23 years old. It was made in '94 with the 5 horsepower Quantum Briggs on it. I do have the attachment that goes to the like the hose, and I also have the bag, but the bag is really ripped up, and so with just the hose, this thing really isn't worth too much, and to use this for a better application. So I'm going to take the engine off of it, kind of clean up under the house a little bit, and take the wheels and stuff off of it too. So yeah, it's a little unfortunate that I can't still use this, but it's just, you know, the plastic, 20-some-year-old plastic is going to be brittle and break. So it does have gas in it, and the guy did say that it ran, so it may just need a carb clean too. Spark plug in it looks pretty new, but yeah, this mower, or this thing will find, this engine will find a mower to be put on as long as the shaft will accommodate it. So we'll dive into this and see what I have. So I got the engine off. It's actually one of the big shafts on this engine, which I do have that big shaft blade key right there, so it'll work on a mower. It does have the long shaft on it, so I'm not going to be able to use it on that rally, but that's okay. I've got a short shaft engine on a pressure washer that I just need to go ahead and take apart that I can put on it. Need to find some big wheels for it as well. So if anything, this will be a preview of putting that engine on something else. Not quite sure yet, but like I said, the bag is all tore up on it. I got it under the house, otherwise I'll show you. Just think of everything being ripped to shreds, and that's what it is. And so, like I said, this is all plastic. I actually had to take the perimeter off, which was a bunch of bolts, and basically it just lifted up and had this big heavy metal fan on it that it's a good 20-25 pounds probably, that spun on it and allowed for the chipper function to work and the blades to turn. But like I said, with the shredded bag, I did have the hose for it. It's not really worth anything, or not worth much, and much harder to sell. So this is a much better option to just break it apart and keep the engine on it and use it on a mower, because I know I can use the engine on a mower, especially if I get some decks in anytime soon. It'll work perfectly on it. So because it's got the throttle cable and everything for it. I'll take it off of this as well. This actually had this is a really nice deal back in the day, because it actually had a rear drive self-propel on it. But like I said, it's plastic's too brittle and beat up for me to try and keep it, and without the bag it's not really worth much. But got a good engine out of it, so I'll keep working on the rally, and I would take the engine off of the pressure washer while I'm at it, just so I can clean up a little bit under the house, and keep on rolling. I might have a deck for this, if not now, later. So stay tuned. So I found some wheels and adjusters that will work on them. Believe it or not, they're from a Husqvarna, because Rally or whoever used to make Rally used to make the AYP mowers, which also makes Craftsman, which also makes Husqvarna, and they didn't really change the wheel adjusters over the course of about 20 years. So that is why this works. They don't adjust perfectly, but it's gotten the mower off the ground good enough. And I had to they had the front ones were a little loose, and they actually had them bolted to the deck, so I had to take the bolts out so that the adjusters worked on it like they're supposed to. But it's sitting pretty good. It's just waiting for an engine to get put on it now. I think I'm going to put that pressure washer engine on it, because it needs a short shaft, and I know I'm not going to do anything with the pressure washer. And that'll go out to the road here before long, just as I get something cleaned up. So I'll get a motor for it, put it on it. So I've drug the pressure washer out. As you can see, it's in pretty good shape. But just when pressure washers and stuff get this old, you just never know what the condition of the pumps are, if they're going to last very long or whatnot. Because this pressure washer will be over 23 years old. So you're taking a gamble on the pump, especially when if I put it on a mower, all I got to do is worry about getting the engine running. Because that's one of my main reasonings behind just taking these apart and putting the engines on the mowers. This one should have the short shaft on it, hopefully so. Looks like it might be a little bit more involved for me to take apart. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and hopefully I can get this thing apart here before long and have a good engine to put onto the rally deck over there, and then get that Troy-Bilt chipper out of the way as well. Just doing a little bit of cleanup while I'm fixing up stuff. So go ahead and work on this. So I got the engine off here. It wasn't too bad. It does have the funny style shaft with this type of bolt on the bottom of it to drive the pressure washer. So, and it didn't have a place. I had to use a half moon key and also a bigger adapter to put on this in order for it to work. It should work just fine. And also had a special oil drain, so I've got to put a drain plug on it, which I've got from a mower that's blown up. That's exactly like this. So I'll put that drain plug on it. I'll put it onto the deck and see if we can get her started here. So I got the engine on the mower here, sitting at about the right height, and I put gas in. I was going to start it, and I had a very small pinhole in the gas tank here, so I had very good success with the JB Weld on the metal tank, so I just threw it on the plastic tank here. I'm going to let it sit for a little while though, just so it can bond and all that good stuff. And so I'll have to come back to this a little later, but I did drain all the gas out, and as you can see that there's some old gas and there's some water droplets in there too. So didn't look the best, but I'll get back to this a little bit later. But I think we're going to have a good runner here. I did crank it up. It only ran with starter fluid, so I'm probably going to have to do a carb clean, and I might do that while I'm here tonight too. But or might just need a fuel line or a primer bulb, one of the two. Just not completely sure. This primer bulb feels like it's really elongated for some reason. So that'll kind of be next on the radar. So I got the carburetor off, and it's not too badly. It's not in too bad a shape, but it does need cleaning. I'll show y'all the jet here. That you can see the jet's clogged up with trash and gunk. So that will be why it wasn't starting and staying running, and I'm gonna have to put a new gasket on it as well, because this one here is old, and it wasn't allowing the primer bulb to prime the engine. So hopefully that will be an easy fix as well, and I'm just going to spray some carb clean and run some wire through this, and hopefully we'll have a good carburetor here, and hopefully we'll have a running mower here pretty shortly. Alright, so I put the carburetor back together. It is priming, which is a good thing. So we're going to crank it up, see if it'll run for us. How about that? Smoking a little bit, but cranked on the first pull and it's running great. Pretty quiet mower too. Again, who knows how long it's been since this engine ran. So I'll let it burn off some of the smoke here. So here it is, cleaned up, ready to go. The gas tank repair seems to be working well. And as y'all saw, it started on the first pull before I cleaned it. So let me prime it up and see if we can get it started this morning. There it goes. Runs good. Might just be a little bit of water from where I washed it, but we'll let it run for a few minutes here. We got a good mower ready to go, which is really nice. It is kind of a shame that the other engine, which it did run, that I just didn't have a gas tank that I would put on it. But this is definitely a good option to do here. And it helped me clean out my house a little bit, which is always a good thing. So I'm just kind of glad that it runs good. I was able to find big wheels for it that work and all that good stuff. Should make a pretty good mower for somebody. It's pretty cheap mower. Probably won't be more than about $50. With big wheels, I might could get 60 out of it, but probably not, considering that it's so old. But at least it runs good, and that's what the main operative is here. So got a couple more I'm working on. Should be posting videos pretty soon about them, so hope y'all stay tuned, and thank y'all again for watching.